YouTube! Hello everyone, welcome to another subathon segment. I'm here with Magic the Gathering's own Voxy. Hi, how are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, and today we've got a little quiz for you, a Yu-Gi-Oh quiz. First and foremost, why don't you tell us a little bit about your Yu-Gi-Oh knowledge? As a professional, insane card game player, I'm sure those skills are transferable.
Do you want me to list everything I know about Yu-Gi-Oh? I can do that right now.
Okay, is it like on one hand?
It is, I think, about 4 facts.
Okay, go ahead.
I know Blue Eyes White Dragon. I know Pot of Greed.
So far, so good.
I know Exodia. And I know that you are supposed to go first or you lose.
Okay, I mean...
Is that...
I mean, it depends on the...
You're not supposed to let your opponent, like, do anything ever, apparently, is the thing.
Well, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a game, let's say, that's focused around high-power, crazy combos. Imagine if we remove these horrible, outdated, and ancient mechanics like mana and lands, and then maybe involved, like, an assault rifle. That's kind of like where Yu-Gi-Oh! Is at.
Oh, so it's like magic with a gun.
It's pretty crazy. So I'm going to show you some cards today. And
okay,
I'm going to ask you if they're good or if they're bad. Some of these will be quite obvious and some of these might not be so. And I guess based off of your understanding of the game, you'll be able to have a 50-50% chance of guessing it correctly.
Okay, you're hyping me up here. Don't appreciate that. Need you to
so
under-promise, over-deliver me here. You're kind of ruining this. Ew.
Card number 1.
Ew. Okay. Yeah.
This is a spell card. It's Pot of Desires.
Okay.
This card banishes 10 cards, so I think it's called Exile. 10 cards from the top of your deck, library, I think, face down, and draw 2 cards. You can only activate 1 Pot of Desires per turn.
Wait, how big is a Yu-Gi-Oh deck?
Minimum 40 cards, maximum 60.
What happens if you run out of cards?
You lose the game.
Exile 10 cards from the top of your deck, face down, draw 2 cards, you activate 1. This seems like garbage. Why would you want to do that? Just to draw 2, you have to exile 10 cards?
All right, walk me through this a little bit with your reasoning.
I mean, if you only have like 40 to 60 cards and you're just drawing 2, but you have to get rid of 10, but you have to go first, so your opponent can't win. So is it better to just draw 2 extra cards? I feel like I've already answered this wrong. I feel like this is not good. I feel like this would not be a good time.
Okay.
Exile. So is Exile the same in Yu-Gi-Oh as it is in Magic? Like you can't get cards out of Exile. Like they're gone forever. Because that's what Exile
You can definitely play around and retrieve a lot of banished cards in Yu-Gi-Oh. However, the key point of Pot of Desires, I will say, is that it's banished face down. Very, very, very few cards, and I will spoil it and say there is pretty much no decks that revolve around face down banished cards and very few ways to interact with face down banished cards.
Okay, you said there's not a lot to deal with like face down banished. I'm gonna go with this card is suck.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, can you say it a little less ominous, please?
This is one of the best draw cards ever made in the history of this game.
What? Explain that to me. How?
Yu-Gi-Oh is a game that is played pretty much like first turn, second turn. You know, you want to be as fast and as quick as possible. The cards that you are banishing are not relevant for the most part. I will tell you the exception in just a moment. But the decks that can play Pot of Desires, those are cards you would not have got anyway in the first place. So it doesn't matter that they're gone.
Right. God damn it. You weren't supposed to do... Right, you need more cards because you're going first and you don't want your opponent to do anything. So it doesn't fucking matter how big your deck is.
I'm not going to lie, Voxy. This was supposed to be the easy start. So...
Okay. All right. Well, I have to go. This was fun. I'll call you.
This is a continuous trap card. So I guess, I don't know what the exact equivalent would be, but I guess maybe an enchantment or something that's just it's just permanently there. So this is Regulation of Tribe. Declare 1 type of monster. Monsters of the declared type cannot attack. Tribute 1 monster from your side of the field during each of your standby phases. If you do not, this card is destroyed.
Oh my god, I'm already feeling shot down from the weird, creepy Pot of Greed card or whatever it was. And now, like, this card sucks, but I don't know. Oh, do monsters get summoning sick? Or once you play them, can you attack right away? I mean...
Yeah, there's no summoning sickness in Yu-Gi-Oh. Once you summon a monster in Yu-Gi-Oh, you can just go, you can go all in. You can start, punching.
Who cares about this card then, right? Are you trying to go first, or no, wait, what if you're second? Maybe you do care about... I'm fucking psyching myself out.
Going second, you would have to set this. This is a good card?
Answer. Yes.
Okay, why do you think so?
Because if you play it, or you cybered in, we only have 5 monsters, they can't even attack you. They can't go for you, right?
This card is complete dog shit. So in Yu-Gi-Oh, you have the monster typing. This is the dark monster. This is the attribute. It's an attribute dark. This is a type. It's called a fiend. This is like the tribe that I was referring to. This types of fiends, warriors, spellcasters, etc. These are the stars here. That's a level. It's 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Level 10 monster. So this cannot be special summoned in any way. It must be normal summoned by tributing 3 monsters. If this is normal summoned, your opponent cannot activate spells and traps until the end of their second turn after this effect's activation. So basically, it freezes you from using any spells and traps for like 2 whole turns. The second effect is, the attack and defense of this card is plus 100 of the highest monster on the field. Wicked Avatar will always be able to punch any monster with 100 extra attack.
Your opponent cannot activate spell/trap cards until the end of their second turn. I think that this card is not good.
So let's remember that you are stopping your opponent from using 2/3 of the card pool for 2 turns.
It's bad, but then you reminded me about the spell and trap thing. I don't know how prevalent that is in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, are monsters or spells and traps cards more important?
It depends on the deck, but usually you're playing a balance of monsters predominantly and spells, a bit of mix of both, and then traps less so depending on the deck.
Okay, then I changed my answer. I think that this card is good because it is.
This card is complete garbage.
I was saying that, and then you reminded me about the spell. That's not fair. I was going that way, and you fucked with my head.
You shouldn't trust me. I don't know, man. You shouldn't trust me. Yeah, this card is complete dog shit. All right, this is Painful Choice.
Oh fuck.
This is a spell card. You can select 5 cards from your deck, any 5 cards in your deck, show them to your opponent. Your opponent chooses one, you add the one they give you, but then you send the rest to the graveyard. You discard the other cards. So basically, I show you 5 cards. You would practically want to give me the worst one of the 5 that I show you to my hand, and then I put the other 4 in the graveyard.
This card is good.
Okay.
Say I'm wrong. I'm gonna start crying.
Walk me through your logic.
Because you look at 5 and then you at least get one of them, like at minimum, and then if you can pull stuff out of the graveyard, then it's good to have them there because like you can see. I assume that you get to like there are cards that like you pick a certain card of the graveyard, it's like the most recently discarded card. Then you get to pull them out and then you can play with them.
So depleting your deck of 4 resources for 1 is good, is what you're saying?
You know what? Yeah, you fuck. I'm gonna say yeah, it is good. It is good. Don't seed of doubt in my head. Yes, final answer. This card is good, and you're a menace.
Well, Voxy, you are correct. This is one of the most broken cards ever made in the history of this game. There are decks in Yu-Gi-Oh where if you activate this card, your opponent will just leave the game. Like you pick up and scoop. This card is banned. It's been banned for like 10 years. This is the most broken. It is. If you ask a Yu-Gi-Oh player what is the most broken card in Yu-Gi-Oh, they will probably tell you Painful Choice or some sort of extra deck monster companion. All right. All right. This is your this is the redemption arc. This is where you're just gonna go on the reverse sweep here.
I just need to get off this little fucking devil like whispering in my ear these like lies.
Hey, just at me next time, okay? Come on. So this is a trap card called Mirror Force. It says when your opponent's monster declares an attack, destroy all of your opponent's attack position monsters.
That's like a board wipe. Board wipes are good in Magic.
Now, do remember it's a trap card that you have to set and wait, and they have to physically declare an attack, and they have to not remove it before the battle phase.
Okay, I think that this card is good then, because I don't really fucking see a downside to it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. It's just there. Don't tickle in my ear. I feel like this card is good.
You are correct. Mirror Force.
I cannot stand you. Oh my god, this is the worst thing I've ever done in my whole. I'm literally sweating.
Let me clarify. What? This card is currently pretty terrible, but historically, throughout the whole history of this game, it was one of the best trap cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! For years.
Yeah, okay, good.
This is a monster card. It's called Lava Golem. It's a very high level monster, level 8, Fire Fiend. It's got very high attack, 3,000 to 2,500. For context, that's probably as big of an attack as you'll get. Like, it's in the upper tier of attack points, for context, roughly. So this card cannot be normal summoned or set. It must first be special summoned from your hand, to your opponent's field by sacrificing 2 monsters they control. You cannot normal summon you cannot normal summon or set the turn that you special this card. And once per turn during your standby phase, take 1,000 damage. So just for context, when it says you take 1,000 damage during the standby phase, at that point you have given it to your opponent. So they are you. So they will be taking 1,000 points of damage during each of the standby phases with Lava Golem after you just sacrificed 2 of their monsters. And to give you more context,
I get to pick their monsters?
yeah, so let's say you go second, they have like a field of monsters or 1 or 2 or 3 monsters, or those companions like I mentioned, all of those powerful extra deck monsters. You can sacrifice them off, and then instead you give them a 3,000 attacker. But the downside is you can't normal summon that turn. Your normal summon in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is pretty important.
Yeah, I know that I can't normal summon that because it says it twice on the card for some reason.
I think that this card is good because you also said that there are monsters that have like crazy effects. So like I can get rid of 2 of their like crazy effect monsters, and yeah, I'm facing down to like a big old monster, but they're also taking 1,000 damage, and I'm getting rid of 2 of their like really good things. So that seems good to me.
Lava Golem is a really good card, yeah, depending on your deck. Depending on your deck, Lava Golem is a very, very good going second out to big boards and one of the best types of removal in Yu-Gi-Oh! This is Max C. So this is what we like.
This is a filing cabinet. This is 2 filing cabinets in one photo.
Filing cabinet.
What is it? Is it not a filing cabinet?
Okay, I think it's a computer. No, it's a TV set on the left and a set of drawers on the right, I think.
This looks fake. This is a real thing?
So this is what we like to refer to as a hand trap. It's like, I guess, like an instant in Magic. The only difference is like it's not restricted to certain decks. Any deck can play this. This is Max C. During either player's turn, you can just discard this to the graveyard, and then every time you special summon, I get to draw a card for each special summon.
So like, can you do it? So you can do it in response.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
If they go to like special summon a monster, you can be like, okay, in response, I discard Maxi.
Yeah, exactly. So during either player's turn, I can do it immediately as soon as you draw. I can do it whenever you activate an effect that special summons. At any point, I can just go activate Maxi, and for the rest of this turn that is active, I draw for every special summon.
That seems really good. And then this attack and defense are like kind of, I assume, kind of shitty. So like, who cares if you discard it?
This wouldn't really hurt a small rabbit. No, it's very small.
Okay, this card is good because you want to discard it, and everybody loves card draw in card games. And I swear to God, if you come at me with some weird little fucking riddle man shit, I'm not listening to you. This card is good. Final answer.
So do you remember that Morganite card where we talked about how some decks really want to normal summon? You wouldn't be able to draw for normal summons. Just want to caveat that. So it's only special summons.
Fuck you.
Whatever, I would put this card in my Yu-Gi-Oh deck, and that means it's probably good.
Maxi is, for context, you know the digital game Master Duel? Okay, so this Magic Arena, Yu-Gi-Oh has an equivalent online.
How the fuck would I know that? I told you I don't know anything about
That's
Yu-Gi-Oh!
fair, that's fair, that's fair. But just to share, it was I guess hyperbolic. So Yu-Gi-Oh has an online simulator like Magic Arena. The usage rate of Maxi is, I think, 94%. Every single deck in the game basically is playing Maxi at 3 copies.
Okay, so I'm no fucking mathematician, but I'm pretty sure 94% means that that's a pretty damn good card.
This is one of the most broken cards ever printed in the history of this game, yes.
Then why did you lie and say it depends on the deck?
It's
I'm sick of you. You are giving me gray hair.
It's really small, like 500 level 2.
Yeah, because it's meant to be discarded. You're not meant to play the fucking filing cabinet.
Very good, very
throw
good.
it in the graveyard and draw.
This is Soul Charge. Target any number of monsters in your graveyard. Special summon them. And if you do, you lose 1,000 for each monster special by this effect. But you can't conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this.
Target any number of monsters in your graveyard, special summon them. If you do, you lose 1,000 HP. So special summon is like they get their weird little special effects they do when they come in.
Yeah, if they have effects on the field, like you special summon them and they can just do stuff on the field, yeah, if they have field effects. So you just have like 5 monsters now.
Monster special summoned by this effect. You cannot conduct your battle phase this turn. You activate this card, you can only activate 1 soul charge. So you're filling up your board with creatures, taking damage doing so, but you can't attack that turn.
Correct.
Like, I guess, I mean, I'm taking a ping for each one. I have like 8, let's say I've got like 8 life, I got full life. I pull like 3 of my like, I can pull out my big shit and then I'll only take 1 ping for each one. I like this card. I think that this card is good.
You're correct. This is one of the most broken cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! This card's currently banned.
Is bullshit. You're sending me into an early grave. I'm doing so much better at this one than the Hearthstone one.
Okay, this is your final one.
Final one. All right.
This is
Ooh, pretty.
Sekka's Light. If you have no spells and traps in your graveyard for the rest of this duel, after you activate this, you cannot activate spell trap cards or effects except Sekka's Light. You can also, after that, banish this from your graveyard, reveal a monster in your hand, and then shuffle it into your deck to draw one. So you can basically mulligan a monster out of your hand and draw one with the second effect there. So the main effect here and the main component is that you can draw two, but you have to have no spells and traps in your graveyard, and you can't activate spells and traps for the rest of that duel.
Why the fuck would I want to play that then? This card seems like garbage.
Well, what
You
if your
get to
deck is
draw
all
two.
monsters?
I mean, I guess in the fucking right deck, so it's like this, that's like that thing you showed me earlier then.
No, I don't like this card.
If you have no spells or traps in your graveyard, draw it two. What if I have spells and traps in my graveyard? Then this card is just dead in my hand?
Well, why would you put this in your deck if you were going to play spells and traps?
I guess in the right deck, can I say like the other one in the right deck it's good?
Is that
That's
your
what my answer? That was my answer for the other one, right? Cause yeah.
Well, I'll give you that one. That is correct.
Thank you.
This is unlike the previous example of Morganite, which hasn't really found a home yet. Sekka's Light has been played in quite a few decks now that are basically just monster mashed. For context, it is currently limited to one.
So it's like medium band.
Yeah, it's medium rare, sure.
Medium band. So like yeah, in a deck that's like all monsters, this card goes in. Otherwise, this card can Sekka these nuts.
Jesus Christ. Voxy, this has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for doing this. You
Yeah,
obviously
nice to meet you.
likewise, just kind of came out of nowhere and, hoped that you would you'd join, and especially with someone who hasn't played this game and had no interest, then it's cool that you were willing to take part. So thank you so much. Feel free to plug yourself as well. Tell us where people can find you and check out your content.
I'm Voxy on Twitch, and I'm Voxy Twitch everywhere else because a fucking language company took Voxy and uses it in their like shitty Duolingo, and they won't give me the username. So I play Magic the Gathering and sometimes other stuff.
Sick. All right, there you go, everyone. There it is in the chat. Click follow, etc. Thank you so much for watching on YouTube. Comment, like, subscribe as always, and see you next time.